Thank you, Maharaj. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sadashiva Shamarambam, Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryandam, Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sagana Bhavadu, Sagano Punattu, Sagavidiyam Karavavakai, Tejas Vinavadidamastu, Mavit Vishavakai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaibhaspataya Mrittive Brahma Vidyacharyaya Nasiketase Cha. Good morning. Thank you for the shorter version today. As Balaji said, we have to do certain rituals, so that's fine. So we are in the 7th mantra of the 2nd chapter of the 1st section, Valli of the Adhyaya of Kathopanishad. We'll probably see just recap the last mantra and then we do maybe one mantra today. You have to remember what is being imparted in these mantras. Nachiketas asks for what is that endures beyond death. And Bhagavan said that is Atma. Then he is asked, what does the Atma look like? How do I know it? Then he is imparting, Atma is imperceptible. You don't look at it. Whatever you look is drishyam. But the looker, the seer, is Atma. And this is very difficult to comprehend because it's incomprehensible. It has to be realized, experienced, and the Anubhuti has to be there. So he started giving him sadhanas. In the sadhanas, he started saying, your mind is the greatest upakaranam for you. Only through the mind, you see the world, you see the true nature of yourself. And therefore, the perfection of the mind, the purity of the mind is the foremost abhyasa one should take. And when we started feeling guilty about that we are not able to cope with the mind being pure, he started this chapter, this section, with the consolation. Don't you worry. The Mother Nature has made you such that your senses look outwards. Therefore, if you naturally inclined to go out in the world, only look at those things that gives you physical happiness, enjoyment. Don't feel guilty about it, but then don't stay there because the Mother Nature has also given you the willpower, the Sat Ichcha, with which you can start looking inward. And then we saw in that first 3 mantras, when you start looking inwards, you will realize you are looking at your body like you're looking at your shirt. You're looking at your mind as if you're looking at your inner garments. And they're all peeling off from you. So you are not this body, mind, intellect complex, but you are that witness. This is something which we need to do. At least we know the knowledge. We know the cookbook. We know how to cook. No, we know the knowledge of cooking, but we don't know how to cook. We don't know the ingredients to cook, and we need to cook it. serve it, and eat it. So the learning is one thing. You see, sometimes when you learn all this Vedantam, you even understand it better than the teacher. You're able to articulate also. And it gives you a very bogus feeling that you are a jnani. You're not. How can a dictionary claim to be a knowledgeable person? It's just a depository of knowledge. So you can know it, you can talk about it, but unless you experience it, unless you can grant the experience to others, you are not fulfilled. So that is the path he is taking. And he said, okay, then you may have a doubt. And if I find out like that, I am not this body, not this mind, I am some Chaitanyam, some light, then I may have this doubt. Therefore, everybody will be something different than what they are. And if you call that as an Atma, and there are innumerable Atma. So what is the gain I get by this? Maybe I know that I am an Atma, but I am like Raja, like Ramesh, Mahesh, like that. I am an Atma as somebody Atma. So you become one among the infinite. It is of no purpose. Then it says, no, the Atma that you see in you is this Atma that you see in others. So the Atma is everywhere. You must have a Sarvatma Bhavam. You are not different from anybody else. Now, okay. How do I experiment that? How do I prove it? Now, I cannot really therefore take, today I compare with Balaji, tomorrow with Lakshmi, tomorrow with Ramesh or something. I cannot do that. So I take the unification of everything, the God. So Bhagavan says, therefore I take you, a puja vicharam that you do about yourself, who you really are, and the vicharam you do about this whole world, or the Brahma, should prove it to you that you are none other than Ishvara. Because if I find out that I am the same in every human beings, every beings, but God is different, I am still in Advaitam. So therefore, this is the bravery of our Vedanta, because it doesn't stop anywhere. It questions God. It says, look at the God. Well, the Brahman I don't see. So what do I do? Then he put different names to it. Brahman, Ishvaraha, Hiranyagarbha, Andayami, Krishna, Rama. All these names represent the same thing we're talking about, Ishvara. So in the purpose now is, having identified that you are maybe in 3 different personalities, that I am transacting this world with my body, mind, sitting squarely with me. I'm using all these instruments in a Jagrata state. I'm dealing with the world. World is Vishwam. I am the one dealing with the world. So I'm called Vishwaha. So my name is not Raja. I am a Vishwaha because I'm dealing with this world. Your name is not Balaji. Your name is not Lakshmi, Saraswati, because you are Vishwaha. So we all have a name when we deal with this world, Vishwaha. Therefore, physical body. Then, well, when I am not leading the world, I deal with my own world. I create my own world. I dream. I don't need this physical world. I don't need the body. Because when I go to dream state, I can create a world. I can interact with this. That dream is a light, Chaitanya. Therefore, dealing with the light of your imagination, your dream is called Taijasaka. So I am now not Vishvaha, I am a Taijasaka. I am in the dream world. So you are. So now we are creating a different personalities. Like we are creating Rama, Krishna, like that in God. But we put in three important segments. That's good enough. Vishwaha, Taijasaka. But sometimes I don't create any world. I don't deal with this world. What happens to you? I don't know. I'm in a deep sleep. But you know that you are in a deep sleep. Yes, but I don't know while I'm sleeping. That's fine. So you are in a different state. So you are called prajnaha, the knower of ignorance. So next day morning I get up, I become Vishwaha. I dream Taijasaka. I deep sleep prajna. So this combination is called Raja. See? So my life is therefore of these three experiences. So to have a fulfilled life, I must have each experience to be good. It's not good enough. You make a lot of money, but you don't sleep well. You have nightmares. So the good life is about getting all this balanced. Okay. Then Yamadharma Raja saying, now having understood that, now I tell you, Ishvaraha, the Brahman you're talking about, which is your Atma in you, is called Ishvaraha when he creates, when you think he creates the world. Every word is important. You think there's a world, therefore there's a creator. So there's a creator means he must have some instruments of knowledge, some efficient cause, everything. So we see him as a Ishvara and Shakti, Ishvara and Maya. So the first one that comes as a creation, we saw in this mantra. Yaha purvam tapaso jataha, jadamatyaha, purvam jayata, guham pradishya dishtandam, yo bhudebhi yapaschate. Yedat vaitat. Yedat vaitat is enforcing that Atma you're asking for, that is this. What is this? This God, he creates this world. In every creation, Adhyaya, Guham Pradishya, he goes inside. What is his name? Andaryami. But what is that he created? He created a Karana Prapancham, a reason to create the world. He's not done the subtle world or a material world. He had a desire to create. Therefore, there is a cause, Karana Prapancham. Like our deep sleep, God is in a deep sleep. The sleep has got a cause, Avyaktam. And there he creates everything predefined. And he goes inside Andaryami. He is also called Hiranyagarbha. In the second part, we saw in the seventh mantra, Ya pranena sambhavatya adidihi devatamahi. Again, second line, the exactly same. Guham pravishya dishtanti ya bhudevi vijate. See, when he becomes Andaryami, so when the Ishvara comes to creation, He uses the devatas. Devatas, his powers. That powers comes in different form. And Vedas basically talk about the Panchabhutas, space, air, Agni, fire, water, Apaha, Prithvi, the material cause. So when you become Antaryami, so somebody is inside my buddhi, Antaryami. So when somebody is inside, then you need to give a locative, you need to give an address to it, a space to it. Therefore, it is the space form. Antaryami is like a space, Akandakasam, Chitakasam. But he also radiates. Therefore, that is the Vayu. So that Vayu becomes a prana. So when the Chitakasam, when the Chaitanyam, when the Atma works with the Manas or the Maya, it becomes a prana. So here, when it is no more causal form but subtle form, is called Hiranyagarbha or prana. Ya prane sambhavatya sambhavati. So here, who has come as a prana? You know, when somebody is dead, we say the prana is gone. The prana is in the form of Vayu, the second part, second Panchabhuta. In that form, the Atma comes as a life energy. The prana is what makes the Sthula Sukshma Sariram to be bound together. So this we saw in the last class. Adidihi. So here, ad sound means in Sanskrit to eat, to consume. So Adidihi means one who consumes, who sees everything. See, the Devatas will always be there, you know. Devatas are the consumption. People see, consumption is the main part of creation cycle. Creation is projection, right? And then it gets consumed. Samharam. Samharam means it's assimilated. Then it produced, assimilated, produced. The assumption, the assimilation is called Aditi. So all the devatas, like, you know, we have the Vak devata, the power in my mouth or my mind, which produces the words. So it is producing the words, but what is it consuming? It's consuming the prana. That's why when you get older, when you're in the last days of your life, your Vak Shakti will go down because you are not able to speak. Why? Because the bojyam, the somabanam, which is the what you consume is soma. One who is the consumer is Agni. What is consumed is soma. But Agni comes out of the Vayu. Here we are talking about Sukshma Agni, which is the prana. So prana consumes. So every devata is there to express a power, but he consumes. So if you are hearing, I'm hearing because I have a prana. You know, there is an Upanishad story there. All the instruments said, oh, I am the biggest. I said, if I don't see, you cannot. So I am more powerful. Like that, every instrument of knowledge said, I am the best. Then prana was keeping quiet and said, okay, if you're all the best, why am I here? What happened when prana leaves? All go. So prana shakti is the Hiranyagarbha in us. And he becomes all the Devata. Devata Mayi. In fact, the ninth mantra also, the Hiranyagarbha mantra, should be 8, but it's 9th. We'll see that. So every Devata is therefore prana. That's the reason why when you eat, you are giving havish to the Devata. So that's why you must eat. Whenever you see things, you are giving Somabhanam, Bhojyam to the looking power, the hearing power, touching power, like that. So why it is called Vayu and space? Because Andaryami, you cannot see. Vayu, at least you can touch. Space, you cannot see. The prana, therefore, shows you by the touch of it. Now, when you put your hand there, you can see the breathing coming through, a gross form of breathing. But you can't see it. Then, in the next mantra, what's going to do is going to take to the next level of Ishvara Rupam, Hiranya Rupam. Here is called Agni. Can you see the screen? I can't see the screen.
Yep, I can see screen.
You can see it. Okay, that's fine. So I can't see it. So Aranyo Nikito Jata Veta Garpa Iva Suprado Garbinipihi Dive Dive Idyo Jagrat Jagravat Bihi Havishmat Bihi Manushye Bihi Agni. It's interesting here. See, the Agni, we saw in the last class. Rudrova Ishat Agnihi. Agni is what is there in the Apaha. Agni is what cleans everything. The more important thing, Agni is the first form that you can see. And it's the purest of the form. Can you ever pollute the Agni? Can you even pollute the space? You can pollute the air. Actually, I'm not technically correct. When I say pollute the space, space can never be polluted. Asangatva. But you can see it looks polluted, right? It smells polluted. Air smells polluted. The water can be polluted. Same way. The Prithvi can be polluted. But Agni, can you ever see a dirty Agni anywhere? No. Can you ever see an Agni lowering itself than others? No. It's always upright, straight. Can we ever hide an Agni? No. If it is flame, we can see. If it is latent heat, there's a heat energy there. There's a life there. So Agni is Sarvagyan. He is the ultimate consumer of everything else. So here, the Suddha Brahman is Agni, and it is the form that you see. Therefore, for the world I see, the body I see, I bring Agni as the Devata for it. How the prana becomes for my Sukshma Sarira, for the Sthula Sarira, Agni, because I can see the Sthula Sarira. The Virata Purusha is Agni Purusha. The world, Vishwam is Agni. Everything is Agni. So the Agni Upasana is very important part. In the, in mantra, we normally hear that, Agni Swaha, Imam Madaga, Amayandu Brahmacharana Swaha, Vimayandu Brahmacharana. The Swaha means, figuratively, it is the wife of Agni Devata, all the kind of Puranic imagery is there. The Swaha is an oblation given to Agni. Agni, please consume it. He consumes. Consumption means it becomes one with the source. Agni me ele prohidam. The prohidam means the gatekeeper, the agency. Veda starts like this. The first mantra is Agni mele prohidam. Oh Agni, you are the gatekeeper. You are the prohit. The prohita we say, the Veda Pandit, we call them prohita. Prohita means they are the agents of supreme bliss. They connect, they transcend, they transport. Agni is a transporter. Which means if my body is Agni, this body is an instrument to transport myself into supreme bliss. That means my body is pavitram. You can't abuse your body. Every body is beautiful. That's the reason why we decorate the body. By putting the jewelries and everything, is not to look beautiful. That's fine. Not to look beautiful. But it is an aradhana. You worship this body. Devo Devalaya. So this is what it is. So here, he is bringing an example. So the Agni is there. But he's also giving a sadhana. Like these mantras are very deep. It takes a long time to explain everything else. Here what he brings in the Agni that we are using it, we are seeing it, it is in you, is everywhere, but you can find out in the Aranyor Nikito Jatavedahu. There's a wood called Arani. Arani means peaceful. It's literally peaceful. But there is a Arani wood. You take the wood and then you put one wood on the other. You do what's called a Madhana. Madhana means churning. When you churn, it will bring Jatavedaha. Nikitaha Jatavedaha. There is an Agni in, see, what's the mantra said? Ishvara in everything. Andaryami as a causal person. Pranaha as a sukshma person. As Agnihi as a sthula. So Agni is there in everywhere. So what they found out in the Vedic rishis, that Agni to be worshipped, both physically, three kinds of worship, for three kinds of Agni, Karma Agni, Upasana Agni, and Jnana Agni. Karma means Vedic karma and Laukika karma. So I need Agni for that. Upasana is Dhyanam, Japam, Tapas. Tapaha means temperature. Agni, you need Agni. Jnanam, you need Agni. So this Agni need to be somehow gross form to be found out. How do I get the gross form? How do I create it? I need to bring it out from this. So you take these two wooden pieces and you churn them. Maddanam. Like dahi maddanam. When you do this curd, when you churn it away. You boil the milk, you put the yesterday's curd, it becomes a curd next day. Then you do this dahi kadeta. Then the butter comes in. It's called navanitam. Navanitam means butter, beautiful butter. It comes out. This churn, the same way here, Agni Madhanam. When you do this with thing like Dahi Madhanam, Agni will come out. That Agni is called Jata Veda. It means in all knowing Agni. Agni comes out. So they take the Agni and then they will put some dry grass and then they blow it up. And then they take it. And then they will use it to do what is called the Agnihotra. They must do Agnihotra every day. They worship the Agni. How do I worship the Agni? There are different karmas. In fact, generally they say 3 types of Agnis. Those Agnis are Gargabhatya, Dakshina Agni, Avahaniyam Agni. So the brahmachari will make those 3 Agnis. Grihastha will have got different rules. All that is there in the samskaras. So once this Agni Homam is done, on the day I need to go back to sleep. What do I do with this Agni? So I need to preserve it. Otherwise, I need to do again this Madana. So what they do, they take the Varati. Varati is the cake made of cow dung. It's a very slow dissipator of heat. So they take the cow dung and they make a cake, dry it up in the sun. And then what they do when the yajnam is done, they put this Varati on it. It takes this fire, the fire gets put off, but the anal is there. And by experience, they know. They sleep by 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock, they have to get up. 7 hours, the fire has to be endured. They may put maybe 15 cakes, cow dung cakes. So it just slowly burns. Next day morning, the ashes that comes out of it is called vibhuti. Vibhuti means wealth. So this vibhuti is taken. So they are wealthy now, vibhuti. Then the fire is again blown. Agnihotram is done. Then Varati is put through. So you need a Varati, you need this cow dung. So you have cow. So cows being nourished at home. So all ecologically friendly, very divine process continues. These 3 Agnis are maintained. One Agni is for the Gahavapatyam, which for all the cooking and everything. Dakshina Agni and Avagani Agni. The Avagani Agni, don't worry about all these things, is on a different geometry and all that. The Avagani Agni is Agni where they take it for all the pujas. Dakshina Agni burns in one place. From there, for this man getting married, Agni is taken from there. His Agni Gotrams get expanded now. When he dies, the same Agni is taken from his house and that is poured in his heart. So he is with Agni, born with Agni, lives with Agni, dies with Agni, because Agni Brahma hai. So this is the concept of it. This Mattanam churning, I say Karma Agni, Upasana Agni, and Jnana Agni. What do you mean by turning up there? When you turn up anything, if you take Jnana Agni is what? Jnana Agni is you inquire, you challenge. Hey, how is it possible? Why it is that? You go to the library, read the book. When you're reading it, what happened? Heat generated, intensity of purpose. You look on it. This is kind of like me. Upasana, tapas. You sit down and pray. You do a Ravanama Japam. Agni comes in. So you are churning yourself. Emotions, emotions also about it. Emotions, when mind is turned, emotions come out. See, when you see when the mothers do this, I remember my mother used to do that as well. When you do this churning this milk, the first few things you'll take out and then throw it away. Then the good thing will come. Always when you churn your mind, your action, your inquiry, unwanted things will come. Sit down for a minute and then think about a person, the relationship with you. What all happening between those two people? You're churning your mind about the relationship. Bad things will come. Oh, he told me that one. He called me a bully. All that will come. This is the vision that comes out. You know, when the Milky Ocean was churned, what comes out first? The poison. You need to consume that. And that poison nobody can consume. Parabrahman consumed as the alahala visham. So whenever we churn our mind, my intellect, my actions, you will get initially rejection. Now, whenever you think of something deep to get perfection, or you go to the guru or a consultant, you do counseling, and they will try to drag out your bad qualities. It's very bitter, but it's good. It come out and it's gone. It won't, like I think Mahapariva said one example. If you read a newspaper, right? I can read a newspaper, and then I put in a light fire, maybe in a lamp fire, and then it just burns slowly. It burns, and then it just become completely an ash. But you can still see the newspaper in an ash form. You can even read the letter in the New York Times or Sunday Times. But when you touch it, it becomes bhaspam, it becomes a complete ash. Like that, when you churn your mind, when the emotions come out and you deal with them, the Agni will burn it. Agni is a consumer, it burns it. Okay, it may be there, So if you scold me, does it hurt me? No. Do I know of my scolding? Yeah. I don't bother. No, it's not that I don't bother. It doesn't hurt me because it is ashed. I can see it. It's ashed. You see? So same way, when you learn something, churning around, you find it difficult to, new things coming, suspicions comes in, some shame comes in. But the mananam you do, go back, you're churning. Same way, kriya. I do an action. I take a learning to drive a motorcycle. I fail. My fracture I got. Fine. You were churning first your physical body activity. No, you don't sleep, you don't walk anywhere. Suddenly you go to the gym, you see your knuckles are hurting, right? You're churning it. But continue, persist. It doesn't hurt anymore. Because the Agni evolves. So even in fact, you can go read in the internet in books. A lot of Agnis there, Jatra Agni, Buddha Agni, Tattva Agni. 15, 20 different types of Agni classified in the Ayurvedas. Many Agnis in Yajnas. Jataveta, Vaishvanara, Kanupata, Anala. See, I'm saying this point because so beautiful this mantra. Agni is chosen to represent gross form because you are able to see the Agni and you turn it. I remember, I think many years back in Siddhartha we did Kathopanishad. There you see, now if you go back to Kathopanishad, you'll understand. We saw that in Siksha Valli, Samhita Upasanam, Adhyadi Vidyam, Acharya Purva Rupam, Andevasi Uttara Rupam, Vidya Shantihi, Pravachanam, Sandhanam, Idyadi. Like that, you have 26 different Samhita means without gap. When there is two things, it's a gap. When you bring it together, there's a sandhi and there's a prayojanam out of it. So Arani, there's one wood called Uttararani, uh, Dakshinadar Arani, top stick, bottom stick. When they bring together, fire comes. Kathopanishad take this and gives you upasana. Your upper lip, lower lip, when they join together and then open, walk comes in. Acharya is a upper arani, Guru Sishya is a lower arani. When they contemplate, when they Madhanam is their contemplation. Vidya Santihi, Pravachanam Shandanam. Vidya happens. The Sandhi is Vidya. Pravachanam is the lecture. That's a child. When the man and the woman, there is a relationship happen, a child comes in. Sandhi. Like that, everything, two things join, something happens. But what is the cause of that happening? Agni. Understand? So Agni is Sarvavyabihi. But Brahman is Sarvavyabihi. Therefore, Brahman is Agni. But we choose Agni here because Agni is Virat Rupam, Jagrata Rupam. So here, what happened here? Therefore, Aranyo Nikito Jatavetah. And how the Agni is maintained. Because the Agni is to be used for karmam, upasana, and jnanam. Garbha iva, supradaha. How a pregnant woman, a garbhini bihi, how does she maintain the fetus in the body? If you see a lady who is pregnant, she'll be very careful. Whatever happens, doesn't matter. She will make sure that nothing happens to her tummy. She eats more, even though she's not hungry, because the child has to eat. So like that, the Agni has to be maintained. I give an example of Vedic scholars. What they do, they put the cow dung cakes and maintain it very carefully so that the Agni travels with them through the life. So when we have the Agni in us, so today we are discussing, for example, and maybe a small flame comes into you. Well, I think this I must learn more. That means you got an Agni, because we did a Manthanam, we did a churning, and then there is a small spark has come in you. What do you have to do? Garbhini bihi garbhaha iva. Like the garbham, you should nourish it. You can't discard it, because the fire, if you discard it, it will be gone. So you need to nurture it. When you do upasana, I do the Devi Bhagavatam, Grahanam day, I want to do Devi Bhagavatam, fine. And you do it very thing, and you find some peace, some acquisition of knowledge. It's a little fire, hold on to it, nourish it, feed it, expand it. Like this, you have to do it. So he says, you have to do how? Dive dive. Dive dive, idyaha. Idyaha means worship. Dive dive means dine dine, every day. So if it is Agnihotram, or if you're doing a karma Agni, if you do your thing, do dive dive. Or I am doing the upasana. Upasana Agni, you say gane gane, every second. If it is Jnana Agni, bodhe bodhe. Bodhe bodhe means what? Dive can be bodhe bodhe. Bodhe means as knowledge comes, another knowledge comes in. The Kathopanishad says pratibodham. Pratibodham. See, you see a pot, and then thought comes to you in a mind, and you can see the pot thought. How does the pot thought happens? There's a physical pot. Somehow your eyes have the ability to bring the light into your biochemistry, into your brain. And the mind grabs that and computes, and it is a pot. And the mind becomes the pot. The vritti. See, mind becomes pot means what? Mind is, look at every nanosecond, at every kshanam, that's a pot. So every time when you see something, know something, your mind becomes that. How does it happen? It happens because there is a light of knowing, light of awareness. Like the movie in the screen, you see, the screen you can see the picture because there's a light and there is an impediment. A picture, film is there, light there, your projection is there. So mind is empty screen. You see things there, things are the impediments, and the light comes in there. So I can say the projection is nothing but light, can I not? It is light. Therefore, every thought is what, therefore, is Chaitanya. Now, what does it mean? It means even emotion is a thought, right? What is an emotion? I'm sad. What is emotion? It's a thought. You think of a person, think of my mother. My mother died. I love my mother. I miss her. I have a sad thought, sad emotion. But it is it's a pure knowledge, right? It is a thought. That means the thought cannot exist in my mind without the light. Therefore, what is that emotion? It's a light. What is this light? Agni. So what do I have to do? Havis. Give it away. So what happened to the slogam? Gone. What happened to the anger? Gone. See, this Agni is in us not only to consume the food. We just keep on eating, throwing things like this. Like a Garbini, you should not, Garbini cannot eat many things. Selectively she eats. Same way, you cannot keep every 10 o'clock bread, 11 o'clock dosa, 12 o'clock idli. You are putting off the fire in you. So you need to nourish it, maintain it. The way you have to do the worship of it. Who does this one? Jagruvat bihi, Havishmat bihi, Manushye bihi, Agnihi. Manushye bihi, all these people to the Agni, what they do? Jagruvat bihi. Jagruvat means who is doing the karmas, actions. Havishmat bihi, the havish is what you give. Always giving the havish. So we will look at this mantra one more time before we go to the next mantra. So what you take out from this today is the Chaitanyam, the Parabrahman, is Andaryami inside me as a Chitahasam, as a space principle. I cannot comprehend it. I can feel it because you don't need a proof to prove that you exist. For you, no need of any proof. So that is there. Andaryami is there. I am called Prajna. Ishwara called Andaryami. Then there is a prana that is running. The prana makes me to do what I am, be what I am. This prana is not knowable, but I can feel it because it is subtle, sukshma. So he is called Hiranyagarbha as well as prana. Then there is a physical form in which the Devata is Agni. So the Agni is also an instrument to prosper, both in Laukika life and Adhyatmika life. So for the Agni has to be worshipped. So I must find the way of generating Agni. For the Karma Agni, I generate from the matchbox or a camphor or from the Arani. For the Upasana Agni, I do by the tapas. For Jnana Agni, I go by the Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam. To do all this, I can't do myself. I need a guru. Because I need two Aranis. Otherwise, I cannot, one stick cannot generate. Therefore, I need a guru. Therefore, I go with the guru for everything. Karma Agni, you need a guru. Upasana Agni, you need a guru. Jnana Agni, you need a guru. Therefore, you have the Guru Deva, Guru Brahma, Guru Deva, Maheshwara. That's why it comes in there. So, we stop there. In the next class, we will do this mantra one more time, and then we do the 9th mantra, where it is known as Surya, Vayu Agni Surya. So that with that, we finish the Tatpada Vicharam. Then 10 to 14 is just a recap, how Tattvamasi, the Asi part comes in there. We take it from there. Okay. Om Sakana Bhavatu.
Om Sahana Bhavatu.
Sakanau Punaktu.
Sahanau Bhunaktu.
Sakaviryam Karavavahai.
Sahaviryam Karavavahai.
Tejasvina Vadidamastu.
Tejasvinavadidamastu.
Mavit Vishavahai.
Mahavishvavahai.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om Tatsate.
Harihi Om Tat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very special session on the eclipse day. Very nice. Grahana Punya Kalam.
Sorry, we need to shorten the time. So,
Okay. Anyway,
Thank you so much, Acharyas.
no problem.
thank you.
Take
See
care.
you
All the best to you.
next week.